think. Good evening and welcome to the unprofessional professional sports show. What is it? January the 14th. Yeah, all right. I'm together.
Yeah.
January the 14th. Yeah. I am BA. Of course, I have with me James and Keith, who was barely hanging on there. He's a trooper. Came out here with his throat a little bit messed up there, but he's hanging in there with us. Bo is doing his Bo things right now, so he can't be on. But the Bo things. So anyway, I hope everybody's doing good this evening. We got plenty of news to hit on. A lot of football news to hit on. First and foremost, let's go give a shout out to the 2026 College Hall of Famers. Mark Ingram, Ndamukong Suh, and Aaron Donald highlight the majority of them. So that's going on. Quarterback Dante Moore, he decided he's going to stay at Oregon and go to and forego the NFL draft, which is a good thing for him. I'm glad he did that. I know he's going to be missing some money, but hone your craft, young man. Hone your craft.
Yeah, Keith, I'll give you the reins on that first. Let you go first.
I'm surprised only because he's guaranteed to be in the first 3 picks, and we don't know that he's guaranteed that next year, right? So these guys take out insurance policies. They do lots of other things. So I'm sure he will not lose any money by staying in college and getting hurt or falling in a draft, whatever. I think he should stay and hone his craft, as Brian said. I think it's probably a good thing. I think it caught maybe Oregon by surprise, as they already brought in Dylan say his name.
Raiola.
Raiola. I'm sure he was surprised by that. You may see him go back in the portal, but he says he's staying and sit behind Moore for a year. I'm sure Oregon fans are happy. I'm shocked that he stayed because of, again, the guarantee of where he would get picked, though. But I think the right decision for the young man, and more guys should probably think about this type of move.
Keith, I agree with you that he should have made this move. He's only had 20 starts total with Oregon, and so that's, if you notice, some of the quarterbacks that have had success, like Jaden Daniels and Bo Nix, they've had way more starts than that. We're talking like in the 70s, So I mean, but I guess what I'm thinking is like, okay, I'm not shocked because the Jets are picking number 2, and that's I think somebody may have given him some advice, whether it be his agent or somebody. This is not a team you want to go to. The trajectory of the success of this team hasn't been up for quite some time, and I don't know if it's going to be you. Usually quarterbacks, they get into this situation, they're going to get beat up. You're going to be spending that $50 million for medical bills, probably.
Well, the Jets have a history here. I'm not saying that Dante Moore is Peyton Manning, but Peyton Manning stayed in school for another year just to avoid the Jets, let's not forget. And that was 2 decades ago.
Poor little Jets.
Nothing's changed in 2 decades.
And just to go back a little bit, I know you mentioned the Hall of Fame, the College Hall of Fame for those 3 players. In college, all 3 of those guys were just very dominant. I want to give specifically a shout out to Ndamukong Suh. This is a guy that gets a lot of flack for being considered a dirty player, and I for the longest time I've totally disagreed with that. I think a lot of times it's just a matter of, I think maybe he's silly and goofy for some of the things he got caught up in, got antagonized into. But I think this guy was just at Nebraska was just ridiculous. There's a reason that he was up for the Heisman for the Bo knows how to make an entrance.
Right.
Hey, what's happening, guys?
Just wanted to warm up the show for you. That's all.
I appreciate that. It took me a little bit longer after hot yoga.
Kind of breaking up a little.
That's how I sounded for the last week, actually.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. You any better now? No.
Yeah, it's still a little shaky. You're getting there.
Yeah, and Ndamukong Suh, man, I would just say that just a scary dude, man. Just how much he can bench press. I mean, just the raw strength of that guy was just unreal. I remember in the league when I watched him, the Lions were playing the Bears, and he pushed Jay Cutler to the ground. He got a flag because it was a legal play. It was a legal play, but it looked egregious because of how much strength he had. I mean, Jay Cutler, when he got pushed to the ground, he looked like Raggedy Ann or Raggedy Andy. I mean, he looked like a doll when he got thrown to the ground. It was just unreal. I was like, wow, that's one strong dude, man. But I have a lot of respect for him as a player. I don't know him personally, but I mean, so I don't. As far as the dirty stuff, I just can't speak on that. But as a dominant three technique, man, it was just unreal.
There was some of that, but it's a shame that has overshadowed how great a player he was in a lot of regards. So he was a great player. He played up in Seattle for a while. Am I wrong, Bo, or no? Did he play in Seattle?
No, he didn't play here.
LA.
No, he played
in Miami.
Yeah,
I thought he was up there for a while. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, he played in Tampa Bay too. He played in Tampa
Bay as well. Yeah.
Detroit.
Yeah,
yep.
So Detroit, Miami, LA, then Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, he did have dirty plays, and that does kind of overshadow, which is unfortunate because he was such a dominant feature. He didn't need to do the dirty plays that he did, but when he did them, he did it on top of being a physical freak, and you're just like, okay, like that was unnecessary, and so it got highlighted so much that really tarnished his career.
Yeah, agreed.
He wasn't a dirty player. He was aggressive.
Stomping on people's ankles and stuff is probably dirty.
That's aggressive.
Depends on the person.
His ankle just happened to be there. He was just mad.
Right.
Ankle happened to be there. That's all. No, Ndamukong Suh. I mean, I think Detroit fans endeared him all the way up to the time he left, and he actually went. The Lions actually offered him more money, a little bit more money than Miami did, but he still went to Miami. I don't know what was going on with him at the time. He really didn't give it. He gave blatant explanations for certain things, blanket explanations. I don't know exactly what made him go to Miami, but I mean,
if you're gonna lose anyway, you might as well do it.
I think the geography is probably what would matter there.
Yeah. Well, the Lions were a little bit closer to winning than Miami was, but that's okay. We'll just, and that's saying a lot. That's saying a lot for that time, you know. But anyway, yeah, we were just talking about that, and we also talked about Dante Moore, Bo, about him staying at Oregon for another year before to go into the draft. Thought that was a pretty good move by the young man.
Yeah. No, I agree. I don't have a lot to add to that. That's a smart move.
Yeah, I know that's right. Take the beach over to Code any day. I mean, yeah, I guess. Whatever floats your boat. Hurricanes too. That works.
Hey, if you got no chance at a ring, which at the time neither team did, I'm gonna do it where the weather's nice.
Yeah, sure, Rick. All right. So other NFL news. Well, we're getting into some NFL news. A lot of NFL news. Lots of NFL news. Adam Thielen retired after a 13-year career. Played for Minnesota, Carolina, went back to Minnesota, and he got sent to Pittsburgh to end his He finished with 704 receptions, 8,497 yards, 64 TDs, 178 yards rushing, and 1 TD from that. So it was not bad. Now, do you think that's Hall of Fame? I don't think so.
All of very good.
Yeah.
Like that'll come down to your voters. I don't know if the stats quite get you there, but if it's a good enough feel good story, sometimes the voters get you in.
He'll get the local Hall of Fame. He'll get Minnesota's Hall of Fame.
Definitely. Yeah, Minnesota. He'll probably put in the ring of honor. I don't know. Maybe he'll be putting the ring of honor.
Doubt.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think he did quite enough.
Yeah, I don't think he did either. Speaking of people resigning, Mike Tomlin came out of nowhere and said he is not going to coach Pittsburgh this year. He is resigning his position and will forego the 2026 season for coaching. He also established that too, because as soon as he, everybody found out he resigned the position and it was a draft pick. Oh my God, the phone started ringing. They're like, "Hey, dude, come coach us." He's like, "Nah, not this year, buddy." So he's off the table for that.
Yeah, that's what
I mean, it wasn't a huge shock. Oh, so I was just going to say it wasn't a huge shock based on how they lost that playoff game. Like if they lost in a close one or if they win, I think it's wildly different. But the way that they got destroyed in every facet of the game, and then you're going to lose the amount of people you're going to lose, you're looking at next year being the first time it would be a losing season for them. It's going to be a couple of year rebuild, right? I mean, you had the most expensive defense that underperformed. Cam Hayward retires. I mean, there's so many different moving pieces of this team falling apart. If you were going to walk away, this is a good time.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised. Everybody's going to look for his next stop, but we have Bill Cowher watches for the last 20 years almost. He never, ever jumped. And I feel like it's going to be the same kind of situation with Mike Tomlin. I just feel like this guy's not going to come back. He's going to find out what it's like to be away and do some television probably and maybe like it.
I could see that, but what I maybe have to slightly disagree is that Cowher went out on top. He went right on top. I mean, he got a Super Bowl. Him, Jerome Bettis, they both were able to get their Super Bowl ring and say, "Hey, I'm out of here." And Tomlin walked into a pretty good team and, a pretty good quarterback, Ben Roethlisberger. And I just think that the way he went out this year, I don't know, maybe he needs a break. He goes and he does it somewhere else, maybe comes back and with another team and figures it out. If it's a team that like in Atlanta that has needs a little bit more discipline there, maybe they need a little bit more, maybe another offensive coordinator there, somebody who can get that defense. And, that defense looks good too, as well. And they got the pieces there, but Mike Tomlin, to me specifically, overall, his career, it's been a very, very, very good career, but not great. I mean, I think for me, the word great or elite head coaches, it's like a handful of people I could put out in names that would be like considered as elite. And I would put him in the boat of like if you compare their records, maybe like a Sean Payton, Mike McCarthy in that ring. Guys that have gotten a Super Bowl ring. They gotten a Super Bowl ring and they've had a lot of winning seasons. And he's never had a losing season, right? He's never had a losing season.
Nope.
Never.
Not
one. Exactly. So I guess he probably when you're someone that has like 5 to 6 Super Bowl rings, I mean, that as an organization, you still want you want to get back and get to the big dance again and win. And it just wasn't happening with him. And he's probably burnt out. So hats off to Mike Tomlin. I thought he was a very good coach.
Agreed.
And hopefully, I think he'll bounce back and come back after 26, maybe in 27, and come back and join another team. If not, he can, like you said, go help his son out with football or get on some panel and analyze and talk football.
I think he's a Hall of Famer as well.
Most definitely.
Yes.
Yeah, he'll be a Hall of Fame coach. I mean, so he had before the season was even over, CBS Sports had floated the idea to him to be on a panel. So I mean, he's going to get to go play in TV immediately, and he might like it. You know, that might be one of those. You're like, oh, what? Sorry.
Mr. Roboto.
That sounds like AOL dial-up.
Yeah.
Bo, you sound like I'm at some old Taco Bell drive-through, man. It's just not working out too well.
Right on. Okay, well, on that note, I'll let you guys get to the show. Then I'll bounce out. If the signal's that bad, it's all good.
Well, it's good right there. Well, it sounds really good, man. You sound good right there.
You got like hitting right spot, you know, just that right spot.
I mean, I literally didn't move, so
Just keep your antenna right there. Don't move.
Maybe the building's moving.
Yeah, the building's moving. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think Tomlin will. I'm with you, Keith. I don't think he's going to come back. I just think that it's been a long road for him. He's accomplished a lot. He hasn't, he's done everything he needs to do. Got a winning record, been in that, won a Super Bowl, been in another one. So I mean, he's okay. He's fine. His career is pretty much vaulted to a Hall of Fame status. I think that it would be good for him to be on TV. I like to see Tomlin on TV because that dude has a lot of sound bites. I remember the one sound bite he had when one of the he was dropping the F-bomb on this guy. One of his defensive players was coming through there, and they were talking about that was you, coach? He goes, don't worry about that. What the F that was, man. Get your effing ass in the damn. I was like, dang, Tomlin. He was talking to him like he was his son practically, but
he has even when he doesn't talk. He's been asked questions. You just walked off the stage, and it's just a brilliant moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
hilarious.
So, I mean, he's going to have like I said, he's probably going to go help his son out in football and start his career out with his son there with his football career, and spend time with his wife. His wife has got a little establishment that she had put up, and help her out a lot about it. And he said he wanted to do that. And so, I mean, hey, I feel that this is it for him. You'll see him in sports and football and stuff like that. He'll be like a commentator, but other than that, I don't see him coaching anymore either. I think it was time for him to move on, just like it was time for Pittsburgh to move on. Now, in saying that, do you think Pittsburgh will, even if they find it, I mean, I don't care what coach it is, but if they get a coach, are they basically, do you think they have to rebuild?
Yeah, Paul might have mentioned it, but maybe James mentioned it too. I feel like they're in that place because they're not going to get significantly better with the core that they have in place. I don't think. I think it's time to kind of chop it all down and start from scratch. And that's why it's a good time for Mike Tomlin to leave. And I don't know, another young assistant. That's where they hire. Chuck Noll, Cowher, Tomlin, all defensive assistants. I wouldn't doubt they go the same direction.
Ooh, I don't know about that.
Got any candidates?
Did they really want to put their DC as a head coach?
No, I'm not saying they're DC. No. How about Brian Flores? Great spot for Brian Flores.
Yeah, absolutely.
But great spot for him. Marcus Freeman will come up in conversation here, even though he signed an extension. He will come up because Pittsburgh and Baltimore are discussed as the two places, and they're both open. That Marcus Freeman
are
coaching.
I don't know if you're being funny, Keith, but Mike. Sorry, not Mike Tomlin, but Brian Flores going to Pittsburgh, where the Rooney Rule actually works for him.
That'd be right. That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Like Jack says, one of the few teams he's not suing. No, just kidding. But no, and really he couldn't. And then to Jack's defense, Jack said, well, what happens if he comes to the Jets, and he would be great for the Jets, but what happens if he comes and we fire him or something like that because he's not getting it done like after 3 or 4 years? Then he'll be blaming us for, blah, 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 and blah, blah, that. And well, you can't do that in Pittsburgh. They invented the Rooney Rule, so.
The Jets, man. I mean, everything just need to be blamed on the Jets with their own personal problems in their organization.
Right.
Not on the coach, not on anybody else. It's the organization.
Yeah, I think it was a time for the Jets. Speaking of which, Jim Harbaugh has visited the Giants. His next visit is with the Titans. As teams go on here, it's looking like Mike McDaniels has stopped in Detroit yesterday. I think he's on his right. Is he doing Cleveland today? Is he doing? He's doing Tennessee today, and I think Cleveland tomorrow. For head coaching positions. Now with Detroit, it was an OC. There's a lot of people in Philadelphia is vying for him as an OC as well. Man, I'm sorry, F Philadelphia. They got Super Bowls. Come to another team so you can earn a Super Bowl. Anyway,
I don't know. This is an interesting coaching cycle for sure. I mean, there's no sure candidate in any one spot. You could just mix and match these guys, and they seem like anybody could go anywhere. The Giants had Harbaugh in today. If they let him out of the building, they're nuts. If they let him out of the building without a commitment, they're crazy. But he's probably not going to sign that quick.
Yeah, he's probably going to look. I think that's what Mike McDaniels is going to do too. I don't know how eager he is to get a head coaching position. I mean, they're out there, and I'm sure everybody would love to have him as a head coach. But considering what he's going to be working with in Cleveland and in Tennessee,
you lose your second job, you're not going to get another shot. You got to pick right the second time.
Yeah.
He's better off waiting if it's one of those jobs.
So just a quick going back to the NCAA football here. We finally have the final two, Miami and Indiana. We'll be playing for the national championship on Monday. I know, Keith, you have vested interest in this because this is your Miami thing, yeah. And I'm sorry, I can't.
Ready.
I've been with you all the way up to this point, but I'm just sorry. Indiana's not going to have this happen. So Indiana's on a storybook road right now. So they're going to win. They have a chance to win their first ever national championship. They got a coach that's just outstanding. And that defense, man, I thought the offense was good enough, but the defense showed me a lot in the last game against Oregon. So
absolutely.
I don't know there, Keith. Yeah, it'll be a good game. I'm not saying it's going to be anything like, Indiana's last two opponents, but it definitely, I just don't see Miami on that height. I think that it's going to be a good defensive battle, though.
It could get out of hand. I mean, if Miami brings one of their bad performances in, it could get out of hand, but they don't really do that against better teams. That happens against lesser teams. Miami's more than a touchdown dog here, as they probably should be. Indiana's a great team. All the things you said are absolutely correct. With that said, I can find a path to victory, the same way I did against Ohio State. It's not a whole lot. I'm not saying it will happen. I'm saying there is a path to victory. You keep Fernando Mendoza off the field. You run the football. You don't make mistakes. They play like they played against Ole Miss. They're going to get blown out of the building. You can't have penalties up the yazoo and turn the ball over. Can't happen. You got to run the football, and you got to pressure the quarterback. Get him off the spot and contain him. Don't let him run around. He does a good job of running the football. He doesn't get enough credit for that. You got to keep him in that pocket, but get him off his spot without taking off, which isn't easy, but they did it against saying. Just saying. It could happen. Now, do I expect it to happen? No. But
yeah, you do.
There's a path to victory here.
I have a question, Keith. Is Xavier Lucas going to be out the first half?
I do not know.
Remember, he was called for that targeting, and so that I know.
If he is, that's a big loss for Miami for sure. I'm not seeing that would be the rule. I believe you miss the first half of the next game if it's a regular season.
Well, I think the thing that's an advantage too for Miami is that they are playing at the Hard Rock Stadium, which is in Miami.
They are in Miami. It's
a home
bit of a
game
home
for
game
them.
there.
Yeah, you know, other than locale, I never felt Miami had this huge home field advantage out in Miami-Dade County, right? It's 20 miles from the campus. It never feels like it's a huge advantage for them. You can see people coming from all over. Indiana travels extremely well, as you saw at the Rose Bowl and you saw at the Peach Bowl. I mean, the place felt like it was full of Indiana fans. And I'm sure they'll bring a huge contingent because they're going to get their allotment of tickets plus.
Oh, yeah.
But it is easier, no travel, you know. So you've got that home field advantage anyway.
Yeah.
Look, Malachi Tony is an awesome true freshman. I see the kid just grow up before my eyes, and it just he's got a great future ahead of him in Miami. Ruben Baines has been great on that defense. Yeah, he's been great on that defense. I like the like I mentioned in the beginning of the playoffs. I thought like if Fletcher played a game like he played that first game, the rest of the playoffs, you guys are going to the finals. And look, they rode his back. I think they have like what you said. I like what you said. There's a path. There's a path here. But that offense and defense of Indiana, it's just like every aspect of their team is just. It reminds me of Seattle in the pros. They look like the Seattle right now of the pros. They just got everything that you need. All aspects of the what you need of the game: the offense, defense, special teams. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for them, and I think that I'm very interested to see what Carson Beck looks like. I want to see what Carson Beck's going to play in this game. Is he going to do like he did with that key clutch touchdown at the end against Ole Miss, or is he going to be the Georgia quarterback and throw like 6 interceptions in a game or something like that? That's the question here, and I think everything else is in place. I think they can play a very close game and keep it very tight, and maybe either win by 3 or lose by 3. I think the game's going to be close, but it's going to depend on Carson Beck.
Yeah, all of those things I agree with 100%. Again, I've said for a long time, Miami, and I'll say it again, Miami's as talented as Indiana. They're as talented as Ohio State. They just don't bring that talent to the field every week because of silly mistakes, penalties, turnovers, right? They're talented, but they aren't as smart. And I've had a problem with Mario Cristobal because of that. That's a coaching problem to me.
Mm-hmm.
Looked like they overcame it against Ohio State. They didn't have a penalty till like the fourth quarter. Of course, they weren't really throwing flags at all that day, which was nice. But they had 7 penalties for a ton of yardage against Ole Miss, big ones. So it's got to be mistake-free football is the only way you're going to beat. Because this Indiana team is very good, as you said, all around the football field. And they don't make a lot of mistakes.
Well, let's put this in another kind of perspective.
Well coached.
Devil's advocate in this. Indiana's won 15 straight games. You know, you never know. The 16th game might be the one that they don't show up to. It's sad to say that at a championship game, but you never know.
It's happening.
I mean, 15 games, it happens. Yeah. So, you know, there's that going for them. There's that going for Miami too. That could happen to Indiana too. So
Indiana's 25-2. I'll put this out. They're 25-2 in the past 2 seasons right now.
I guarantee it. Here's what I'm channeling. 1982. I think 1982. Miami's 4th in the country. They're playing number 1 Nebraska. Nobody gives them a chance. 14.5-point underdogs. They win it and win the national championship. And Howard Schnellenberger doesn't get enough credit for putting the Hurricanes on the map. They were nowhere before 1982. Everybody gives the credit to Jimmy Johnson and Dennis Erickson. Howard Schnellenberger got this ball rolling, and he doesn't get enough credit. And they're going to channel that energy. Kozar.
We'll see. That's going to be a good game, though. Like I said, I don't think that Indiana's going to roll over Miami like they did at Alabama and Oregon. I just don't see that. It'll be closer because you got terrific defenses on both sides. I think the only thing that is going to make a difference is which offense can get it going early. I think that Indiana's defense is pretty good. I mean, offense is pretty good. Miami, you're right. They had that shaky sometimes, whatever they want to play that way, they can play that way. And other times it's like, dude, come on, get your head out your behind.
Mistakes. If you're just going to bet on a team most likely to make a big mistake, it'd be Miami, not Indiana, because they don't seem to do that.
My question is, does Michael Irvin have any eligibility left? He can get out there on the field with Malachi Tony and
I tell you, he's got energy enough. I can tell you that.
Yes, exactly. Right. He can give BTAs all over the place.
I want some of whatever he's ingesting before, during, and after those games. I'll tell you.
Let's just hope it's not the pink. Let's hope it's not the pink substance,
or the white substance,
or the white substance,
or any substance. So we're gonna go ahead, Keith.
I didn't say it was anything illegal. It's just
never know.
Pop rocks.
Yeah, Pop rocks. There you go. That's what I thought they were. Anyway, speaking of the NFL, transition into that again. We got playoff games this weekend. This came off of some pretty good. It was a pretty good wild card weekend this weekend. I was really impressed with a lot of the games. The last one, of course. I mean, I knew Houston was going to win that game, but they just destroyed Pittsburgh. They destroyed them.
Two defensive touchdowns.
Two defensive
touchdowns.
Remember that. I'm not impressed with their offense at all. But I'm scared to death of that pass rush this weekend. I can tell you that, because they could score two defensive touchdowns this week as well. I'm scared to death of that team.
I think any team is scared of them because they're giving you some reminiscent images of Baltimore 2000, Tampa Bay 2002. Just pretty scary, man. Everybody on that team is just all over the place.
But they don't have that guy on offense to control the football like the Ravens had in Jamal Lewis. They don't have that anywhere in that offensive backfield. The receivers, it's just not there. And C.J. Stroud doesn't have weapons. He's not going to carry that team on his own. So the defense got to win. Defense won that game Monday night.
Yeah, Nico Collins might not be playing because he is in concussion protocol. So at least they play Sunday. So, I don't think he's going to make it.
And Drake may got beat up by San Diego pass rush Sunday night. I mean,
San Diego's defense was great, but their offense was just
Well, thanks to New England's defense, because New England's defense.
Yeah, you got to give credit to New England as well, for sure.
Yeah, they played really good.
Great scheme.
Yeah, they
and bringing a segue to that, I got to give Keith some credit. I didn't pick his team. They look really good in the playoffs, and I'm going to pick them against the Texans. Even though that defense is elite, I just think that Drake May is going to, they look really good. They look good offensively. What is that?
Patriots. Well, we'll get to that in a moment here. I went 5-1 in my picks, and the Chargers were the only ones that let me down. Buttheads. Anyway, nobody wants Orlovsky as an offensive coordinator. Are you out your mind? You don't even know where the end zone is at. Anyway, onward to the next 4 playoff games this weekend. On Saturday, Buffalo is going to Denver to play the Broncos. Denver is favored by a 1.5. Of course, you got Superman going there. Dre Greenlaw is coming back for the Broncos, so that adds some extra for the defense. I'm just going to digress to James. James, what do you think about this game? Who do you think is going to win this game? What do you think? What's going on here?
Look, Broncos defense is nothing to sneeze at either. I think they're really good. I don't know. Is Patrick Surtain playing?
Yes.
Yes. And I think he got snuffed out of All Pro honors. So if I'm him, I was Defensive Player of the Year last year, and now I'm not an All Pro. I'm upset. So look, let me tell you, Josh, don't throw it my way because I know Josh. If he's in a pinch, he has a propensity to throw some interceptions himself, and so don't throw his way. Don't throw that guy's way because he is a ball hog. He's elite at his level. But with that being said, I like James Cook, and I like James Cook to cook, and I like Josh Allen. I like an upset here in the Broncos. I think Buffalo. This is their time. That game they showed me against the Jaguars. Jaguars is probably going forward. If the Bills go on, the Jaguars are probably the second hardest team that they'll be playing. If they go forward and face the Patriots, I think the Patriots are going to beat the Texans. The Jaguars were a tough team, and they showed out, and they were able to get the ball last and win the game. And so I think the Bills are going to win, but it's going to be a close game.
I too like the Bills. Josh Allen and Cook have carried this offense, which has been a bit maligned. The receivers are maligned, but they make big catches. Allen makes big throws. He will make some mistakes, but he bounces back from mistakes like nobody else. He's not afraid to throw into trouble because I think he feels like he can get away with it, and he can make up for it if he makes a mistake. If I'm not mistaken, Denver went to Buffalo in the first round last year, didn't they? And got am I wrong? Didn't Denver play the first round and get killed in Buffalo last year?
I'm not sure.
I think, not positive. Anyway, I think the demise of the Buffalo Bills, and partly I do have a hidden agenda here. I do not want to go to Denver and play. Should we beat the Texans? Well, bad things happen in Denver for the Patriots that always have, and a lot of teams, but the Patriots have a bad history there. And I really don't want to go there. So for many reasons, including that one, I like the Bills to pull the upset here and beat the more inexperienced quarterback and team. Well coached. Like the Bills time.
Well, I hate to say this to both of y'all. It ain't going to happen. Josh, let me tell you something. You saw the Houston defense, right? I saw the Houston defense this whole season. And when they played Buffalo, Josh Allen he was out of his mind. He was running for his life in that game.
Great.
Now, the Broncos are not as good as Houston, but they're the next level. They are the next level. And I think they're going to get after Josh. I think I think Buffalo's. I don't care if it's this is their year because they don't have. Dude, if you got to worry about Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson, dude, you don't need to be playing this game in the first place. You should beat them teams anyway. So no, they ain't gonna pass the Broncos. Bye Buffalo. Sorry, Keith. New England is going to Denver. So which will be a good game. Which will be a better game to me. I don't know. Buffalo going to New England is not a good game to me. I think New England would be.
I think it's perfect match.
Down. Sure.
I like Denver's front seven, but looks like the better of the two push teams between the Eagles and the Bills have been the Bills this year.
They've done it well.
Yes, they have, and I think that. Oh my goodness, pause doing push well. But yes, I do think that. I think the Bills, man. Again, whether he's running for his life or not against Houston, like you said, they are not Houston's defense. I think he's going to live to play another game, and they're going to get to New England again. So we're going to agree to disagree on that one, brother.
Yeah, that's not a problem. I have no problems with that
Just
at all.
agreed all the time. It'd be boring here anyway.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
If we agreed all the time, yeah. The next game is San Francisco at Seattle. Seattle is favored by 7 points. I think this is where San Francisco ends their season. Kittle's out for the year, ACL. So I feel bad for him not being able to participate in this playoff run. But yeah, this is going to be it for San Francisco. I think Seattle is just too strong right now. They've had a week off. They're playing at home. I mean, at home is not really the greatest asset this year, but considering they're in the playoffs, I expect them to rise up. Who you got in this one, James?
So when you have headlines like Fred Warner saying that they're not ruling him out to come in to play this game, you know that there's they have probably the same idea of what you have, is that they're probably they need all hands on deck right now to try to at least come close to winning this game. Now, mind you, Kyle Shanahan is probably one of the best coaches in football right now, considering what you've seen with a ragtag group of players. To get this close, they were one game away from getting the one seed, one game away, and they didn't do it, unfortunately. But I mean, if you look at what they had, I mean, again, George Kittle, tore his Achilles. Man, it's unfortunate for him and for his team, but they still were able to win that game. I mean, Kyle Shanahan went to his bag with the wide receiver pass to McCaffrey. Man, I mean, Jennings threw that. And wasn't Jennings a former quarterback in college or in high school?
Yes, he was. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That was perfect timing for that play. So, do they have a chance against Seattle? Everybody has a chance at something in life. The percentages is what we're talking about. I mean, I give it a point of 0.52%. I just think that Seattle, again, I mentioned them earlier. They're just great on all aspects of their team. They're clicking on all cylinders. And now, mind you, I need to see
Saturday.
For them to win. I need Sam Darnold to not be the Sam Darnold of Minnesota the last two games to fold. If he folds, there may be a problem. Houston, we might have a problem. But I don't think he's going to fold. I think they're going to win this game, and it's going to be Sam Darnold sitting down in the fourth quarter. They're playing somebody else.
Sam Darnold is the wild card here in my mind. Shanahan's done a great job in very difficult circumstances this year. Had to play his backup quarterback a lot, and a lot of backups at other positions as well, and has done a tremendous job. And I thought last week they'd get beat. But the Eagles just don't have any imagination on offense. Go back and look at the last drives we watch every other team run. The last plays of those games are the touchdown, deciding plays, or the game-deciding touchdowns, I should say. All kinds of imagination, great movement. They're just running guys down the field, and it's like drawing it up in the dirt. 49ers find a way to win that game, and God bless them. All I can think about is 2 weeks ago what happened when they played the Seahawks in Seattle, and it looked like
Seattle shut them down.
Looked like men against boys. Another great defense. Another great defense. A great coaching job by McDonald. Done a great job. It's unbelievable number of coach of the year candidates we have this year. Tremendous amount.
Yeah.
The one wild card is, as James said,
legitimate coaching of the year candidates too.
Without a
pulling them out of behind coaching candidates.
You just can't not mention Sam Darnold's history and not think it couldn't happen again. Oh, I don't think it will. I think he finally got over that in that San Francisco game. And his defense helps. Having a good defense helps. So I think Darnold could make a couple of mistakes here and still get away with it. So I don't think he's giving this game away. I think Seattle wins handily.
Yes, Seattle. I mean, Sam Darnold is that guy that you would have to kind of question, see what happens with him, where his mindset is.
Yeah.
I think he's in a better place. I think he's at home. I think he's got the whole backing of the team. He's got a better defense than he had in Minnesota. I think that's something that helps him out. And actually, when I said the Broncos, I would say Seattle's the second best defense in the league, and then Broncos are right behind them. So that should be, San Francisco's time is going to come to an end, in my opinion. That's just what's going to happen to them. As far as the Philadelphia Eagles are concerned, that's why KC and the Sunshine Band got booted out of there in the first place. So, I mean, that's just the way it is. They have no imagination on offense. I don't even know why. The thing that kills me about the NFL is that you always carbon copy things that are successful. And you would feel that if you're a team that was in the Super Bowl, and in the next year, even if you got a different offensive coordinator, you would stick with the other offensive coordinator stuff. You still got the same players. Your offensive line is malaligned, but, you can make that work. I mean, the Lions won 9 games with a messed up offensive line half the season, so I know they could have made it happen. I mean, I don't know about Philadelphia. I didn't think Philadelphia was that good going into it in the first place. I don't care who they played. They would have lost the first round. So, whatever. Take your division title and hang that on a banner somewhere.
Also, before you go to the next step, speaking of it, like Keith mentioned, the Eagles had no imagination. I'm trying to imagine a world where A.J. Brown catches the ball and they move forward with the It's the lights, man. I'm in a building where the automatic power goes out. I mean, the automatic lights, they dim if there's no movement. So here I am. This is where, yes, there is lighting. It's just not. There's no movement. But yes, with that said, AJ Brown, you can't complain, man. You cannot complain if you're not going to catch the ball.
Exactly.
I mean, it was put right into your hands and it just flew out. I mean, so I think that ball, yes, and that drop is going to go right with him dropping out of the Eagles organization, probably to some other team.
Exactamundo. All right, Sunday's games. We got the Houston Texans going against Keith's New England Patriots. Patriots are favored by 3.5. We'll go with you first, James. What you got?
I mentioned like 3 or 4 times that I'm taking the Patriots. I love what I saw from the defense. I was not surprised, but I was surprised at how dominant that defense looked. But they're going up against a better offense. I think the Chargers offense was just putrid. They really didn't play. They didn't have. First of all, their offensive line is hellacious, and I don't know what to say about the quarterback there. The quarterback play there, Justin Herbert. Maybe it's attributed to the offensive line, but I mean, at the same time, if you're going to be that guy, you got to be able to elevate your team to do something. At least, I mean, to get more than 3 points. The defensive, the Patriots is good, but I mean, it's not. I mean, I don't know. I think Jim Harbaugh is a great coach. He needed a little bit more juice from that offense, and they didn't have it with the running game. I mean, there was no Omarion Hampton in the game. I know they had Vidal, however you pronounce the kid's name, Vidal Sassoon. I don't know. I'm not sure. But yeah, I like the Patriots. I like everything they're doing right now, and I think they're gonna beat the Texans. But it's gonna be tough because that defense is gonna come in and bring it. They're gonna keep the game close. But I like the Patriots to win this game, maybe by 3 as well.
I see this game unfolding a lot like last Sunday night's game unfolded. I think it'll be played very close to the vest. Field goals, a touchdown, a big touchdown here is going to make a big difference. The Patriots defense has been pretty consistent all year, except for a couple spots, the second half against Buffalo, for example. Since Matt Williams got back 3 weeks ago, though, this defense has stepped it up a notch. I know they're playing against a Jet team. They didn't have nothing to play for, but they just dismantled them. They dismantled a San Diego Charger team that had a lot to play for, and Milton Williams is a big part of this. And he was in a lot of that stuff going on in the backfield last week. They ran stunts. The Chargers just had no clue what was coming at them. And I read something, I can't remember who it was. One of the Charger players came off and told one of the linebackers whose name is slipping my mind at the moment for the Patriots too, that we just had no clue. Really not a good sign for the Chargers coaching staff. We just had no clue what you guys were doing on defense. None. That's a damning comment for your coaching staff.
Well, obviously that's why he was let go.
I mean, I would have liked to have had the ice concession for Herbert on Monday because he got the absolute crap beat out of him. Mm-hmm. With all that said, so did Drake May. Drake May did as well, but what Drake May really showed me, and I really wanted to see, and I talked about this a lot, and again, I promise you I'm not comparing him to Tom Brady. I am not. But one thing Tom Brady could do is have 3 horrendous quarters and just eat you alive in the fourth quarter. He'd figure it out. Drake May kind of was horrible for a lot of that game. He didn't play well. He was under duress, but they figured it out when they had to. And I just love this kid's moxie. Nothing really gets to him anymore. And Mike Vrabel's had a big effect on him with that. He gets right in his face when he comes off the field, when he does something good, when he does something bad, and keeps him is focused on the next series. And this team's always looking, and McDaniel's a great offensive coordinator. The backfield, we talked about this, Sonia talked about losing one of her dual threats. Dual threats are great, but you can't keep them both forever. We saw that in Philadelphia. We see that everywhere. I think you saw it in Detroit. You can't keep these guys because you can't pay them all. So you got to take advantage while they're there. Right now, they got a great two-headed monster because since he came back from injury, Ramondre Stevenson's been playing like a beast. And Henderson gives him the speed. They got guys who can get down the field now and wide receivers, and Williams, who's played a lot in the second half and played a lot better. And you got guys like Booty and Diggs who are going to beat you short. They got a lot of weapons that are not elite, but they're really good, especially when you got a quarterback who can make use of them. I think they win another close game here. I'm scared to death of that pass rush. As long as May holds on to the football and turns it over twice against the Chargers and got away with it. Thank the Chargers for some of that. But don't turn the ball over here. Don't get your quarterback killed.
Ha, 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 Rick.
No, that's easy.
So national championships. That's all I got to say. Anyway. Again, I had to disagree with both you gentlemen again. I think Houston's defense travels.
Defense.
And I was more impressed. I was overly impressed with what they did at Pittsburgh. I didn't think they were going to, hand it to them like that. I thought, with Aaron Rodgers back there, a veteran quarterback, he would be able to, do something to that defense. But it's like he had no clue. He had no clues what was going on in there, and Metcalf didn't help anybody either, as usual. But
why would you think he'd have an answer though? I mean, he didn't have an answer against Cleveland 2 weeks ago. They just manhandled Rodgers that day. That's what I saw. The
only problem I have with what you're saying is that they dismantled them. But how often are you going to have 14 points off of defense? You're not going to do that every game. You're not going to get 2 pick sixes every game. It's an anomaly. It's an anomaly.
And I really don't care because the defense is going to still get them. It doesn't make a difference. When they play the Chargers, this is a big part of this whole thing I'm saying. They scored 14 points early. All they needed. The defense just wrapped it up from that point on. They can get those 4. I don't know if Christian Gonzalez is going to play because he's in concussion protocol.
He may not. So that's a huge loss.
Yeah, he's in concussion protocol, I believe.
But like you said, on the flip side, Nico Collins may not play either, but Christian Kirk was the man in that game. So but I mean, I'm looking for, again, a better defense to play up against this team. And, I don't know. I mean, no, that's not true. I mean, I thought the Chargers defense was good, but they got wore out. You can only stay on the field so long, man. That Chargers offense was just putrid. They were bad.
I mean, if they can run the ball, I mean, both the defenses, Houston and New England's are pretty high up there. I think New England's overall 8th, and Houston, of course, is number 1. It's probably going to be a really low-scoring game. Of course, we say that. Every time I say that, it ends up being 35, 32 or something like that. The next guy, you're like, damn. But anyway, figuratively, it should be a low-scoring game. So I just think that Houston is going to have more offense than more defense than Patriots are going to have offense, and that's going to be the telltale. They're going to force May into a couple of. Got to remember he's a second-year quarterback, so he can make those mistakes.
We've seen, yeah.
And they got 2 very good defensive coordinators on that team with Ryans and what's his face, the other the actual defensive coordinator on there. They're doing a fabulous job, both of them, putting their heads together and getting it done. So, yeah, I'm going to go with the Houston Texans on that one.
This will be another ugly game, And
Yeah,
this
it
will
will be.
very happily take another ugly 16-3 win.
Yeah.
Very happily.
Okay, last game of Sunday's slate is the Rams going to Chicago. But before we go into that, did anybody have a problem with Ben Johnson and him saying "F the Packers" in the locker room?
No.
Okay, because
Stuff
people said that was
happens.
disrespectful.
Well, people disrespect people all the time.
It was
We do.
mostly Green Bay, but you know,
I get
Green
it.
Bay. Yeah,
I get it.
anyway.
You know, these teams, they don't like each other. The Lions don't like the Packers or the Bears either, right? I mean, that stuff's going to happen. Emotions take over. Who cares? Not a big-
Crybabies.
Yeah, it's not a big deal.
And the Rams are favored by 4 over the Bears. Who you got there, James?
Look, I know we don't have a lot of time left here, but
Got plenty of time.
the Bears, if they have an opportunity to win here, they got to do it better in the fourth quarter game, not fourth quarter game. You cannot leave it up to 25 points in the fourth quarter and then start turning it on around that time. You got to, especially against the Rams, you're gonna have to play it, and you're gonna play a full court press and play a really good game, and you're gonna need that from Caleb Williams. You're gonna need him to be outstanding because he's going up against Matthew Stafford, a guy that's got his running backs. He got a dual threat and running back in the backfield with Blake Corum and Kyron Williams, and then and you got Puka Nacua and you have Devontae Adams and that tight end that got the 19-yard touchdown at the end.
Parkinson.
Man, yes,
Parkinson's been put up. Yeah.
Yes, he mossed the guy at the end. I mean, that was just incredible. So I don't know. I'm going to go with the Rams here because I don't trust the Bears. I don't trust them. I like, as much as I like to see them try to win a game like this, I don't trust them. And I like Ben Johnson too. I liked him when he was with Detroit, and I like him now. But I don't think they're ready yet. They gotta get over the hump here. But McVay and that team's going to win this game.
Yeah, I know when Brian goes, I'm bucking the trend here. I'm going to tell you the Bears got over the hump last week. They got those playoff jitters out of the way. They got behind. They've gotten behind a few times. You're right. You can't fall behind again by 21 or whatever and expect to come back here and score 25 fourth quarter points. Won't happen. But I don't think they're going to fall that far behind. They might get behind early in the game. But I think coming back obviously gives you sometimes a false sense of security. But I think it gives you confidence you're not out of games either. This team is not going to believe they're out of the game. They fall 2 touchdowns behind. I wouldn't want them to do that if they want to win the game, obviously. But I think Caleb Williams is growing up in front of our eyes. I really do. And I think you got to get that. There's a hump you got to get over. James mentioned it. They did get over it last week. The stage is a little bit bigger, but they're still at home. They're still at home, which is a big deal. Rams haven't played well outside. On the East Coast, wherever we are, Midwest, Mideast, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what weather will play a factor. Hopefully it does if you want the Bears to win. I like the Bears to win this game. If they lose, I think it'll be very close. Betting-wise, I'm betting. I'll take 4 points in the playoffs at home almost every time, especially with a team as talented as this one. They're young. James absolutely right, but I think they got over that hump last week, and I think they stay more in control early in this game and don't fall so far behind. And the Rams haven't played great. They're lucky to get out of Carolina with a win. They haven't played great in a month, so there's nothing there to tell me they should be 4-point favorites on the road here against a division champion, one of maybe the toughest division in football. Well, the West is pretty tough, actually.
Just because every team went over 500 doesn't mean they're the toughest division in football. I think that was the NFC West was going to be the one that does that. But anyway,
I was trying to give you a little there as I pass it off to you, Brian.
I just think Stafford is chomping at the bit right now, looking at that secondary right now. The defense for Chicago is still horrible. It's horrible. It's horrible. Unless they get a turnover. That's what makes their defense. If they can't get a turnover, their defense is horrible. I mean, the Lions beat them in the last game when they had something to play for. They're horrible.
They're horrible.
So, I mean, you're right. Caleb Williams has done a lot. Ben Johnson has done a very good job with that offense. I mean, the first thing he came in there to do is set that offensive line up. And that offensive line has been playing pretty well. Caleb Williams has had time to do things. And when he doesn't, now he's making better sound decisions.
Agreed.
Still playing in the sophomore year. So he still kind of does fade out every once in a while. But Rams defense to me is better than Green Bay's defense. The only reason why I'm saying that because they didn't have Micah Parsons. It probably would have been a different game if Micah Parsons was in there for Green Bay, but the Rams have their full complement of defensive personnel, and I think they're going to make it a little bit different and difficult for Caleb in this one. And I just think Stafford, you can say that they didn't play well, but with this team, I think how Stafford plays is how that team goes. If you remember the first time they played in Carolina, Stafford had a horrible game. He had a pick six, and he lost the ball when it was his turn to take a drive down the field. He had an interception in the Carolina game, but when he got the ball this time, he did not make that mistake. And he went 7 for 8 in that drive. And like I said, the one pass that was dropped was to Devontae Adams. It was dropped to Devontae Adams. Other than that, he just cold as ice went down the field. And that's the Stafford that he'll make a difference if it's cold. A lot of people say, oh, they're not a cold because they play in a dome. Stafford's beaten Chicago in Chicago before. Actually more than once because, we did get one stolen away from us in the Calvin Johnson rule. But anyway, the point of it.
Why did we get there? Jeez.
I just see Stafford having his way with this defense. I don't think he's going to make that mistake at this time either. I think they're going to be on a crash course with Seattle. So I got the LA Rams in this one.
I'll say this last thing about that. The Bears don't want Stafford to have the ball with a chance to win at the end.
They do not.
They do not.
Mm-mm. They need to be. I think for Chicago to win this game, they have to have a heck of a lead. Yeah, like a 2-touchdown lead, and they need to keep that lead. That defense needs to play.
Yep.
I can't believe what I heard in the last game when they were playing, and they were talking about, oh, this looks like the 85 Bears defense. I'm like,
what?
Come on.
Nobody's like 85 Bears. Jeez.
Nobody. Not even the 85 Bears. Anyway. But yeah. So I mean, the defense has got to hold it down. They got to have a 2-touchdown lead. So to me, for them to win. On that note, we are going to get out of here, guys. It was great to have y'all. Thanks, Keith, for hanging in there with us. He's got a show with Sonia.
Guys.
That's okay. He's got a show with Sonia tonight on the Prim and Proper Sports at 9:00. Tune in for that. And of course, tomorrow is Thursday. We're going to have Pink Fanfare and her show tomorrow with the Superfans Thursday. We're going to have the Jacksonville fans on there, Superfans on there. So catch that tomorrow at 9. And we'll see you soon. Everybody, have a good night.
Thank you.